Hi, I'm Wayne Mahmood from CPD Health Courses and bringing you today's practice tip. Today's practice tip is a question, and the question is, are you the best in the world? Are you the best therapist in the world? I want you to think about that question and think to yourself, is it really important to be the best in the world? What does it even mean to be the best in the world? And what does it take to be the best in the world? So the people who are the best in the world, let's think about them for a moment. They don't usually go around saying that they're the best in the world. In fact, it's others who say they're the best at, they're the best in the world, rather than themselves. So in our world, for example, you probably heard patients who will say that so-and-so is great at fixing necks. Oh, fixed my back, never had a problem since. Oh, they're so good at sports injuries. Oh, chronic pain. Oh, you've got to go and see that person. Fix my disc problem, whatever a disc problem is. They are the best. That's what those patients are thinking. But what makes them the best? Why have they stood out? And why, more importantly, why is that important? Why is that something that you should strive for every day that you're in practice? That's what we're going to explore in this practice tip. So why this is important is purely mathematical or economics. It's all about competition. There simply is a lot of people doing exactly what you're doing right now. So you need to find out how you're going to stand out and be the best at what you do rather than be a commodity. A commodity meaning you are sold purely on price. In other words, what you charge is purely related to your price. Is this cheaper? Is this more expensive? Rather than anything special about what you do. Let's have a look at some of the numbers out there of practitioners in Australia, and you'll find them absolutely staggering. So let's have a look at the number of physiotherapists in Australia. There's approximately 31,000 physiotherapists right now. Chiropractors, 5,000. Osteopaths, 3,000. Massage therapists, get this, by the year 2020, there'll be 15,500 massage therapists. Not only are those figures absolutely staggering, but the growth rate within those professions is also staggering. Just look at massage therapists alone. In the last 10 years, that profession's grown by about 60%. That's a massive jump. In fact, if you look at all those professions together and add up the average increase in the last 5 years, it's 44%. So what that means is that there's a lot more competition, and you've got to learn what are the secrets to standing out so that you can be seen as the best in the world, spoken about in the same way as those therapists we just spoke about before. Whether you like it or not, it's a competition out there. And speaking of competition, let's have a look at a useful analogy to explain what I mean. Let's have a look at sport. Who's the best at sport? Something that we can all relate to. So if I mention any of these names, you're going to know who I'm talking about straight away. Someone like Roger, Serena, Bradman, Senna, Ronaldo, Woods. These are all names that are synonymous with being the best in the world in their chosen fields. I don't even have to say their first names and everyone knows who we're talking about. They've left the competition for dead. They're in the top 10% of their chosen sport. How have they done that? One thing, they have focused. And that's what we can do in our own fields to be the best in the world. How do we do that? It's actually really very straightforward to be the best in the world at what you do. The best practitioner in the world at what you do. These are the steps. Focus in on what you already do. Focus in on the types of patients. Attract more patients of the ones that you love treating right now. Focus in on delivering the same skills that you love and you do really well right now. Focus in on the types of conditions that you love treating right now. And then practice, practice, and more practice. But not just any practice, perfect practice. Find out what you can do better today. Find out what you've done that you could do better tomorrow. Examine what you do. Journal what you do. Think about what you do at the end of the day and think how I can do that better tomorrow. That's perfect practice. So things like CPD, we've all had to do our CPD hours or our CPD points and so on. Now, Don't just pick any CPD. Have a think about the CPD courses that you've attended in the last 5 years and which one of those are you still doing right now. Well, the reason that you're probably not doing all of them is this, that we try to do too many things rather than focus in on what's important. What's really important is focusing on the CPD, the skills that are going to complement the things that you're already focusing in on right now. So pick the CPD, pick the skills that are going to complement the types of patients that you love treating right now, that are going to complement the skills that you already have and you already love delivering on a daily basis. Complement the types of conditions that you love treating right now. Rather than picking new skills, you're going to pick up skills that are going to complement the ones that you already have now. That's called focus. So you become the person who says about themselves that you know a lot about very few things, rather than I don't know much about lots. That's not what you want to do if you want to become an expert, someone who's the best at what they do. Because those people who really are the best in the world, they're the best in the world at very few things, the very few skills that they are focused in on day in, day out. They've become masters of a few rather than jacks of many. I hope you found that practice tip useful. If you'd like to see more practice tips, please visit cpdhc.com/video training. See you next time.